Yeah, haven't made a new video in a while, so here it is. Unfortunately, because of my uh, absolute garbage setup, I'm not able to actually make videos me playing the actual game and talking during the game. So I have to basically record or use the recording system and then record over that me watching the game sort of setup. Uh, that's what I get for having an absolutely uh, garbage computer. So, and if I reach below 60 FPS, it tends to uh, be a bad time. So in this game, I have to really just have above 60 FPS. Even though you see the top of the screen, it doesn't indicate the actual FPS of the game or the ping. That's just the recording. Um, so unfortunately, yeah, I haven't really done any videos recently. So, or in a year or more. I've been busy. Slash, it isn't really great to make videos again with the setup. So, but I still wanted to just like do another video in between doing things at the moment. And this one's especially like a better game, although I have to say that uh, not by a lot, but still is a pretty good game regardless. So I'm still recording it and talking over it as well. So the people who actually give a shit with my channel, which is probably like three, will be able to see this. Like interesting gameplay, the mid, the top, and the support. Uh, yeah, I'm playing Darius, Conqueror with Resolve secondary. I have no idea why there's Mordekaiser besides the TP in the middle of the lane, but power to him. I ended up going even straight regardless simply because it's more than I was in the middle of the mini mode. But because he went for the gank, I get an early level 2 above him. And I go Doran Shield simply because I'm not really that much of a really overconfident Darius, even though I play Darius a lot, and I say I'm pretty good at him. Um, I typically don't like going for uh, the Doran's Blade simply for like the HP and the regeneration that Doran's Shield gives you. I don't know why this guy decided to go for a gank when this lane was pushed up, and also in full vision of the Mord almost under tower. So you said you could just see me desperately trying to CS and failing miserably at it for the most part. Um, while this Pantheon jungle tries to exist. He started top lane. I have no idea why, or he started top side, excuse me. I have no idea why. He wanted me to reach him. Again, I don't know why. But luckily, I'm able to kill this guy because he has no idea what Darius he does. Luckily for him, I am a Pega, and I flash for literally no reason other to lie to myself and say I totally doubted him by flashing nothing and proceeding to miss even more CS in the process. So again, this game it was good for at least me playing Darius, but in the overall scheme of things, it was pretty rough to watch overall. So again, I initially go Sheen, but because I want more overall stat spread and movement speed over him, I'm not really concerned about sustain or trading using Sheen. So I'm like, screw it, I'll just get a nice spread and go for early phase, so I'll have a bigger advantage over the Mord. So I can kite him better since I'm already in the lead. Sheen doesn't really give me any chase potential, so I'm like, screw it, let's just go for that. I don't know why, again, uh, this guy thought it would be good. He actually picked Mord into Darius. And he said he claimed that he was new as Mord, but it was more consistent he was new at League of Legends because he did dumb stuff like this. Unfortunately, I don't kill him here just simply because of shields. And uh, just because I simply don't have enough damage yet. So at least I was able to catch him, but at least I pushed him out for the most part. And I get free farm CS off them. So I'm able to control the win completely, essentially. Aside from that, I explained that I actually don't really have I barely have a CS lead of this guy that I'm completely destroying lane. Um, that's how it goes, really. He goes boots, which probably is good if he had a brain, but he really doesn't, so I am just killing him simply because he doesn't understand what, actually not here, never mind. I'm full of shit. I don't kill him here simply because, again, I don't have enough damage. And instead, the Lee Sin, Blitzcrank, and Silas gank. Effectively just kills the Ari. Can't blame her though, but this is a bit of a suspect gank to say the least. And the Pantheon dies like a monkey. So now here I have enough to get my cage, I believe. Yep. So that gives me greater advantage over Mord, which means I get better chase potential. Unfortunately, the wave is pushed up, but at least I'm able to catch him out because he really isn't falling for. He hasn't really understood how to play around my E, so I just keep using F5 over and over again. And also, I don't know if a lot of people do this, but I tend to always fill my slots with HP pots, even after, even mid game, I'll still get HP pots because just the sustain difference is just, even though it's minimal, I still feel like it gives me a good advantage. Again, this guy doesn't understand what a Darius is and his blitz tactics, so I end up just apprehending him here, and I end up getting a kill off this. So even though he used all his abilities, he had his ult off, I'm able to basically manage to go by the skin of my teeth, simply because of the Dorian shield and burning 2 HP pots in the process. So that's how I managed to kill him. And this back next to me, I don't even think it gives me that much gold. At this point I was current about Sin, so I just go for a double dagger just to get greater attack speed so I can get 5 stacks faster. Luckily, Bot gets a nice 2 kills bot lane, which unfortunately doesn't really set a precedent, but hey, at least they got kills and they're not losing lane, so it's already a plus in my book, honestly. Already I have a pretty decent bounty, although it's more than as because of the CS lead, which I don't really know why they did that. The bounty by kills with the new system is understandable, but with the new thing with CS leads, I don't get that. I feel like that's honestly a dumb mechanic, and it punishes people who are good at farming when they basically never get ganked because of the gold, and then they're just, dying. Because of my 2 daggers and my Pepega mindset, I just run at him like a mongoloid and I get the 2 kills, or I get the kill on him again. So, luckily, I have a nice lead, so kind of is offset to what Lee Sin has, as well as Silas, so that's pretty good. So then I just run back, because I was a bit nervous about Lee Sin, like I just see there in the corner, on the bottom right. Lee Sin is going to go for a gank probably, but I just plot immediately, and I literally just buy a mana crystal, I believe. Oh no, excuse me, I get a stinger. That doesn't come to later. So again, I get 2 HP pots again. I mean, if anyone's willing to call me an idiot because I'm buying HP pots just to fill cash. Um, you're welcome to do so, and I probably am an idiot for doing it, but I've been doing that a lot now, and I just find it's really nice with giving more sustain, and allows me to really like clinch out fights that I wouldn't necessarily win beforehand. So I think it's just really great. Again, I have so much movement speed now, plus Sheen, the extra attack speed. So I just wanted him. So at this point, even if he uses ult and tries to run away, I literally could just uh, go for a kill again just because I have Ignite versus his TP. I just completely decimate him. Fortunately, I missed the cannon minion, so that's nothing really new. So at this point, I'm just trying to farm him, farm the minions, take tower, and then roam. Already I have a 700 gold bounty, which is really confusing why Lee Sin didn't try to go after me, because there's a lot of times where I was really out in the open like this, and instead of ganking mid and randomly just going for like my other teammates for just pocket change basically, they could have just gone for me, gone for a nice bounty shutdown, which would have really solidified Lee Sin's lead against the Pantheon. I mean, the Pantheon already is a useless pile of shit at this rate, but it would have been better for Lee Sin to just go after me. I'm going to really help out this more. The fact that he doesn't do this really kind of messes him up even later, because I just end up snowballing out of control, and my team ends up being smart enough to know that we should probably help the incredibly fed Darius and not just watch him die and then blame him. So luckily, they're smart enough at that rate. And I ended up telling them, I'm like, hey, at least this game I had decent teammates, and that's honestly the best. You can be the best in the world, but if your teammates are complete idiots and you're not playing like a really carry champion, then you still gotta rely on them. Maybe you just see me farming a top lane, but just instantly more interesting in them being out of position, and Clown CS is ensuing. So right now, I just take his ward, clean out the bushes, and I try to go for another loop around gank. Unfortunately, he knows not to go for it after I just took it, but not smart enough to, not into me. Luckily, my team somehow manages to win the Clown Fiesta bot lane, since it's pretty useful, and they just ping, they just, yeah, Darius isn't there anymore, and so I try to go for a kill off the Silas, because the Silas actually is a bit more gold. Unfortunately, Silas is Silas, so even if I were able to kill him, it takes forever to kill, simply because of his kit and how it's literally overloaded. So unfortunately, Lee Sin comes to his aid and kills him. It kills me before I can get the kill and run away. I still get the kill, thank God, but again, that's not worth the shutdown that Lee Sin nets on me. So unfortunately, that happens. I don't know why they made Silas the way he is. The champion concept is okay, but his kit just doesn't really work. Like, he's an AP mage that's melee, and his kit's based around locking people down and CCing them. He doesn't have any, he doesn't have a high HP pool, so I don't know why they did that. And then, in order to make him decent, they just overbuffed his numbers. So he's just good just because of his insane numbers. And it's like, it's not really great design. I mean, obviously Riot isn't the greatest when it comes to it's like mindset when it comes to designing champions or updating them, but still. So I managed just to get two of them because I run down. I basically just ignite ignite this guy just so he can't use his shield again, because not really paying attention to the numbers essentially, like when his cooldown is on the W, so I just would just flash ignite him, and that'll work out. And the bully does the rest with the ignite. I go back up because I see Mord obviously is just farming mid lane, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go back up top and take this turtle play. Right here, Ori 7-1. Not even Lee Sin, he's basically been free farming mid and bot has that, so I have more CS almost than everyone else in the game, followed by just Silas and before it was Egg, but that's probably because basically everyone is a Pega. So again, not really worried about the CS now, but people are just worried about CS and just more about fun things. So I managed to take the tower with the Pantheon contributing exactly 1 or 2 autos, just so he could get the tower. And so unfortunately here, I basically think I'm able to 2v1, but I'm not, simply because of the shield he has. So unfortunately I die. I mean, I net a kill, but I'm Darius, so that's usually a given. So unfortunately they get top tower off this. Luckily it's not their tower, but still. And luckily my my bot lane is smart enough at least to attempt to push the tower in response to them going top. Again, this, what the heck? Great design. Great design of the champion. I assume that they're going for a Herald, because they could have done Rift Herald, but unfortunately they didn't. So the Pantheon just runs into the Lee Sin, things that he could fight in for some strange reason. I'm looking around to try to go that way, but the Lee Sin kills him before I can even get there. And the Lee Sin obviously could just run away because he has Warthog. So he just hops away, and I don't know why I apprehended there like a monkey, but it is what it is. And there's still bot doing stuff, and they obviously overstood super hard. Luckily though, I'm able to kill both of them because they tried to go after them. I probably could have killed the Lucian before I killed the Ahri if I just autoed instead of gone for the execute, which would have been obviously the delayed ability. So, but still, I get the 2 kills, and I'm trying to basically snag a kill or 2 bot lane, and they're pinging, so get it away as fast as possible. Pantheon, yeah, actually Shaggy is, he ults, causing her to walk up, try to help him, and then runs away. Unfortunately, because of the movement speed, I tried to blind hook over there, but the E isn't that big of a range. So unfortunately I don't get that. What happens here, I don't know why. So instead of running away from the 0-4 Mordekaiser, instead of running into him, he runs away from the Pantheon. Runs away from the Mordekaiser, which means I have to deal with Mordekaiser and the Orianna. And because one still does damage regardless, I need build resistance, I get my ass handed to me by 3 of them, and Pantheon decides to throw spears and nothing else. I literally get the kill just because I'm fed and I'm Darius, but they basically managed to kill me and the Braum, and because my team doesn't have any pressure, basically we have to give them the dragon, and also buff is more important than dragon somehow, but I digress. This week, I don't know what happened here. So, he misses everything. So instead of phase rushing away with it to his team, he phase rushes, instead of over the wall, he phase rushes into the Lee Sin and just dies. So even though they're able to kill Silas, they still get a kill here, or 2 actually. Luckily, because of the blue smite and my movement speed, I'm able to just kill Lee Sin before I was able to do anything. And now I just run in for Mordekaiser, try to sweep them up as well. I go second gate, I go start to sweep second item. Luckily, the Brahmin flashes in and then goes for a. Actually, I go in for the flash apprehend and get two of them. Here, I actually thought that Braum would kill the uh, the Blitzcrank or my Fleetwood. So there's actually a gap where Blitzcrank is just still alive attacking me. And I'm like, wait, he actually is not gonna die. So I have to go back and turn on him and then go back to Mordekaiser. And this is a 1 a.m. game. So as you see, he's an incredibly high skilled Q, or high Q after him. But because I'm Darius and Phantom was able to stun him, I was able to just get a nice kill off him. Again, I really could have done a lot better this game, but I did really well still, notwithstanding, which was really nice because the previous games, my teammates and overall the game was just a little bit, rough sometimes, even though, I'm obviously good friends with them. Sometimes they give me sadness playing with them, but so I was really glad that I was able to just keep this game in. But it is what it is. Usually it's just because of the MMR difference, and obviously you can't help that. Obviously not holding against anyone. I'm not that kind of person, even though I play Darius, which sometimes confuses people a lot because I'm probably one of the shortest Darius that people have seen. I mean, people at face value. Um, Unlike most Dariuses that really brag and flame and shit, I tend not to brag at all. But I would definitely, with Gordon Ramsay, my team, and fucking claim the shit out of them if they really don't. I don't do it too much here because they're not playing too poorly, and I am really ahead, so I'm able to just do my thing. And because of the movement speed with Fate, I really just use it so much here. I'm able to snag her out of position, which is really nice. At this point, Mord doesn't really do anything, so he just gets stunned by the Pantheon, and I just clean up the kill. Even though Pantheon did take the kill, which is fine. He needs to kill my idea in this case. So we have this random crap, and we end up managing to secure an inhibitor, which is really nice. Because even though Lee Sin has kills, he can't kill all three of us because as soon as Pantheon, Stun, or Arikon, I'm able to basically kill Lee Sin, as demonstrated here. I actually get to kill Silas here, but unfortunately there's a lot of them, so unfortunately before I get the apprehend off, I die, so still a good triple kill, and Mord gets the shutdown, which since Mord is a Protego, it only has 1.5 items. I'm totally cool with that. I don't know why this Oriana went attack speed, but she did. And she ended up still being going decent. Is what it is. Again, I don't know what the heck is this Mord thinking. He actually, I believe he lives here unless I go, I think, what happened. So it was pretty entertaining. So right now have Dead Man's Plate as well as Sex Station Candy Plate. So as LSC, they're not, my team's not that bad. I can't really be mad at them for that shit. If they mess up occasionally. So right now I go for Dead Man's, or I win Dead Man's in this case, because I'm not really concerned about getting resistances too much. So I'm already ahead, and I just want to get good chase essentially. And I do want a little bit of armor just because of the Lee Sin, so I go for that instead of Thornhill. It also really helps because more movement speed. Water. Like he gets pulled out, but unfortunately, for this Lee Sin, this Darius does not mess around. So I just ult him straight up, and because I have BF sword, uh, in addition to that, unfortunately it really messed up that engage. But we still managed to kill them because my team's with me, and I have like 3 items deep with Sterax, so it's pretty good. So right here I'm going for GA. So right now I just want to get another wave in, try to push it, but I believe I don't even go for the wave. Oh no, I do go for the wave, okay. So I go for this one wave, and then I go back for my GA. This is pretty good. The reason why I see you randomly back out of this bush, die in bush, is because I thought I needed another wave to get GA, but I don't really buy GA that often. So I don't really know the combined cost as well, so I end up like double taking and like, oh, I could just buy GA straight off. So it is like you're thinking that I'm worth that much, because literally like gobbled up all of their kills, and I'm really ahead. So even though I haven't really played terribly well, I've played well enough that I'm 22-4, so it's pretty sizable. And my movement speed is, you see right here, my movement speed is almost 500, which is insane. Plus, I keep proccing phage, so I'm able to just really run at people and get them. That was a really questionable ult. If she did that better, she probably would have basically gotten away from me, but she doesn't, and so because the rest of the team's out of position, I just basically clean out everyone who's missing, and I just take this guy apart. I wanted to go for this mord, but I see the Lee Sin just immediately gives the edge, so I wanted to get a kill off with this guy, and so I'm able to, simply because the Brahms spell was pretty good, and so unfortunately, because of his dashes and his ultimate, he gets away. Can't do this. So right now, I could have, in hindsight, just pinged my entire team just to go mid, and we could have been just doing shit up. We had the entire mini wave, we would just killed her, taken 2 towers, and ended the game. But instead, I pinged to go to Baron, and I went beyond my Caper side because, again, this is a bit late into the night, and so I really just wanted to secure the game. I wasn't completely confident we'd be able to take the towers before the Baron, and I kind of wanted to get top and bot pushed in. Because they're idiots, they can CP randomly into the thing. I'm like, you can take the luxury of taking the Baron off that, and just praying to God that the champion be able to smite, which he is. Let me just reset. So right now, I already am putting on my 6 items, so again, not concerned about sustain too much. So what I do, because I only have 20% PDR at this point, I go for the cough fields, so I can go for a death dance. So it gives me 30% CDR, it gives me more AD, so it's pretty nice. Since I already have above like 3 HP, there's no one that really is going to instigate me. If the Lee Sin falls off, Lee Sin's golden cruiser, I'm not concerned about being like one shot. And my team, I'm usually with my team, and I have Sterax and GA, so I'm not concerned about being dogpiled and snuffed out of the fight immediately. So I say screw it, I have the luxury of just going for more life steal. And on top of that, playing with Darius, you get, considering Death Dance is on me, Vamp, all of my 2 damage like from Conqueror as well as my ultimate. I get some nice buff off that. For some ungodly reason, this quick strength gets the bright idea to pull the Darius. He's freaking 24 kills deep. So the Darius, the quick strength ends up regretting life choices as well as his team, and we end up just going for the next turret. I have a nice meaty hit. Right here, I died simply because of more damage than I had no HP, but for SGA, I just get brought back, and we're like, alright, we can just end this game right off the bat. Overall, it was a great game. My team did okay. I mean, you can see in the previous parts of it, my team actually gave me a thing like red buff. Like they really encouraged me to take everything I needed to help them out. So at least that's the best you can ask for. Um, so yeah, overall the game was pretty nice. Obviously, I didn't really outplay anyone to be fair, except the Mord and not even outplaying, just literally kept calling same shit over and over again. I took advantage of that, but this is a really nice game. Overall, demonstrates that like um, if you could really snowball a lead, that regardless if your team's like on the fence, you could really push them over on that. Thank God, Conquer isn't nerfed too much yet. So unfortunately, Darius hasn't been that great as of late. This is kind of an outlier because more top and more has teleport, but unfortunately, there really is no other. Wow, what am I thinking of? There's no essential replacement for the Conqueror loss at Darius. I tried Hail Blades, mixed results. Honestly, Conqueror is still the best on Darius, but if they make it anymore, Darius is definitely going to get like a sub 50% win rate, so that's going to not be cool. Um, so anyway, this is full game as Darius top lane, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it.